My dumbass. I came on here and I was like, oh, here's the full moon. And I was like, it's Friday. It's not Friday. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Which means I didn't even take my own damn advice, okay? Because here's the chart. Here's the chart for the full moon that is tomorrow, the 17th. Not Friday, the 18th. I don't even know where my head was. I'm not even gonna lie, okay? What I said is still true. This is still the correct chart. I just gave the wrong day. I gave the right time. I don't know what the is wrong with my head, okay? Anyway, we're still looking at this as a hot mess, okay? It's not nearly as bad as an eclipse. It's messy. And it's given the vibe of, you know what? It is perfectly okay to stay home and put the covers over your head. Take your time. That like anyone who's in the entertainment industry knows that there's this like hurry up and wait type of vibe that happens where you're like, I gotta get there, I gotta get there, I gotta get there. And then you just sit around and wait for like the director to like be like, yay, let's do this. It's that kind of vibe. Okay, that's the vibe that we're having. And we're having don't go fighting with people because they're gonna be able to just like Mercury in Scorpio is just sarcasm and cutting off your head. And with Mars and Mercury, like Mercury being in Mars's sign, okay, it's gonna be a pretty, like it's gonna come so fast. You don't want that heat, okay? They're working together, okay? And then we've got the Jupiter politicians and the president working together on some kind of diplomatic foreign policy scheme here in the opposition of what the people want. Yeah. Okay. But you also have Mars in a square here. Okay. So this is friction out in the open, with Mars being the troublemaker of the chart because this is a day chart, and so he's the malefic that's going to cause a problem in a square to the head of state. So I don't see that as being Mars in Cancer is Mars doesn't particularly like being in the sign of Cancer, okay? Just like the sun does not like being in Libra, okay? We got two planets that are in signs they don't like to be in, okay? But when you have Mars in Cancer, here's some topics of discussion that can come up just based off of astrology being a language, okay? So Mars in Cancer can be fighting for your family. It can be fighting for family values, what you think are family values, okay? Remember, not everybody's family values are going to be the same, all right? It can be those you care about giving you self-confidence and helping you, okay? It can be like finding who you are through family, all right? It can be a striving to get to family or to create a family. All right. Mars doesn't necessarily always have to be cutting and severing and getting rid of things. Although it could be getting rid of the toxic people in your life who are family, like getting rid of toxic family members and cutting them off. So it can be that too. All right. Sometimes things just are. They're not good. They're not bad. They just are. And with everything being on the power of the sun in the first house, okay, for this opposition between the two, there's also a square here between the moon and Mars by sign, okay? But they're helping each other out because they're in each other's signs, right? So they're leaning on each other, kind of like two drunk people trying to get down the road. That's what Chris Brennan likes to say. And Adam Dellenboss, he likes to say that too, all right? So we've got some friction here, but the moon is kind of cooling down Mars, so he's not as bad. But once again, this is a day chart, so the planets that are going to have the most emphasis on the chart are going to be Saturn, Jupiter, and the sun, all right? And not even Mercury, because Mercury right now is a night planet because he's rising after the sun, okay? So We also have a square here between Saturn and Jupiter, with Saturn being the one that's in charge of that. Okay? And having the overcoming. When these two get together, though, that's not when Saturn and Jupiter get together, that's kind of more of a like a butting of heads that's happening here. Whereas when Venus and Saturn are together, that's chef's kiss. That is zaddy energy there. This is like getting a drunk Santa Claus to follow the rules. So it's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's totally okay to rest. It's totally okay to double check your work, which clearly I fucking didn't because I gave the wrong date. And this is going to haunt me for the next at least half a year.